Welcome everyone to the DIY Maker channel. Today we're going to look at a really interesting knife from Cold Steel. This guy is actually sold as a boot knife, but if you look at this grind, it looks very much like it might have some lineage to some Scandinavian knives. When I first saw this in the case, I actually thought it was a full Scandi grind. It's not. There is a micro bevel on there, so you have the what looks like a Scandi angle here, but there is a micro bevel on there as well, which wouldn't take much to grind through to get a true Scandi grind on this. But I got to tell you, this little guy is quite interesting. Being a boot knife, you usually don't see a knife that has some outdoor world pedigree to it, but we're going to check this out. Do I think it's a good scraper? Not back here, no, but up here where this distal taper gets to this drop point, this actually does feel like it's got somewhat of an edge. So we're going to give it a try here today and see if we can't process some wood and get us a fire going. First thing we're going to do is do a little redneck sharpness test on this guy. It is pretty gosh darn sharp. Not as sharp as some knives that I've had on this channel, but it's definitely cutting quite a lot of hair. Let's see how it does at batoning through a small chunk of wood here. We'll pretend we're trying to get through this wood to get to the dry stuff inside. No issues there at all. Yeah. It gets through that just fine. Let's take one more cut and get into the middle here. And let's see how it does as a scraper. Like I said, I don't think we're going to get much out here. It's pretty rounded out there, but where the distal taper is, yeah, it will actually get you some scraping done there. Now, how well does it cut curls? Pretty darn well. Again, I'm always a fan of the Scandi grind. I think it really excels at this job. I think it excels. I think the Scandi grind is actually really good for taking animals apart and starting fires to cook them. So why wouldn't you want that as a survival tool? I don't know. Anyway, let's get some of this piled up here on our impromptu fire lay. Now, let's get us some scraping on this fat wood. Definitely getting it done there. That's actually very pleasant to scrape with. I've never really had a knife where I had to scrape that far forward on the blade, but it actually does okay. Now I do have a little bit of a fire starter here too. We're going to shave some of that down and try this out on a ferro rod. All right, I've got my Craftig Uberleben ferro rod here. You've seen this in a number of my knife reviews, and you know that it knows how to start a fire. But let's give it a little test here on this material, see how it does. I'm going to try back here. Yeah, not getting anything back there. Definitely works okay there. No problems at all. Yeah, this knife is really interesting. I don't think it would take too much, like I said earlier, to grind this into a true Scandi grind. It is 4116 German stainless steel. It is made in Taiwan. It's actually a very comfortable knife in the hand, and it does come with a really nice boot sheath. I might actually make a leather sheath for this for carrying on the belt a little more readily. Plastic is nice, but it's kind of noisy shaking it around. So I might like a nice leather sheath for this as well. That way it kind of opens up more opportunities. And once again, this is the Peacemaker 3 from Cold Steel. And for the money, it is a really outstanding knife bargain. Thanks for watching, everybody.